What is up, ladies and gentlemen? It is CJ, the Cheese DJ here, and we are back with another episode of Ark. And today we're taking a look at top 5 PvE dinos. So we're going to take these dinos from both Scorched Earth and the island. We are currently on the island at the moment because I like the island, it's much prettier. And we're going to get straight into the list. But before we do, just want to say a huge thank you to everyone, all the new subscribers that have come along. Hopefully you guys are enjoying the channel. But without further ado, let's get into it. So number 1 on this list is the Mantis. Now, you can see here, this guy is really buggy for some strange reason on the island. There we go. He's kind of better. He's kind of following into the ground. So this guy is obviously, this is in no particular order as well, I might add. This guy is number 1 on the list because of his uniqueness, I guess you could say, because he's able to pretty much equip anything in his 2 hands. So for example, we just got our raw meat taken off us. For example, you can equip pickaxes, hatchets, swords. I don't know if you can equip pikes, but you can then pretty much use this guy to harvest your surroundings. You can see there we're harvesting a crap ton of flint, stone, and metal. Now, obviously, this levels with his melee damage as well. So the more you pump into his melee damage, the more resources you will be able to harvest. Now, as well as that, the level of the item you give him as well affects the amount of resources he gathers. So for example, if you've got a journeyman pickaxe and you put that on instead of a regular primitive one, you're going to be gathering a whole lot more of flint, stone, and metal, or, you know, pretty much whatever you're going to use to get this guy. So you can use him to get wood, you know, thatch, anything you really want or need in specific. Obsidian even. Now, we're obviously overweight. The only bad thing about this guy is that he doesn't have the greatest amount of weight. You can see there in the corner where our weight is. It's only at 338. Now, this guy was spawned in at level 120. So, you know, you're going to have to pump up their weight a little bit more if you want to get the full use out of these guys. Now, number 2, you can see here, is the Bronto. Now, this guy is pretty much your all-terrain mount because he's got the platform saddle. He's pretty much your own movable base. Granted, he's a lot slower than some of the other dinos. He's still able to carry your base wherever he goes with him. Now, I was a little bit torn here between this guy and the Paraceratherium because the Paraceratherium obviously is smaller and a lot more maneuverable and mobile than the Bronto. However, I did go with the Bronto as you're able to build larger bases on the back of him. As you can see, we've got a huge building space. Now, the reason this guy is number 2 on this list is because of his huge carry weight and the previous reasons that I said about his base. He's got 2,500 carry weight. That is a huge amount of weight. Plus, he is a gigantic tank with a crap ton of health. You bring one of these guys along with your escort of Rexes, you'll be able to take down most things in the game because, you know, he can just tank all the hits for you while your Rexes deal out the damage. Now, as well as that, this guy is the berry king. He's able to harvest the most berries out of any of the herbivores. Obviously, you can see there with his ginormous tail swing, he also has the greatest reach out of all the herbivores because of his tail swing. So that's why this guy is number 2 on the list. Number 3, much like the Bronto, is the Quetzal. Now, this guy is obviously number 3 because, once again, you can build a platform base on these guys and then you can fly anywhere with them. Now, as well as that, the Quetzals are really useful for taming creatures that are on land. Obviously, as you can fly and not have to worry about them hitting you, this guy's really useful for taming the Giganotosauruses. He's really useful for that. And as well as that, you know, you can build a base once again on your back of your dino. So, you know, you can take him up to the mountain, leave him up in the mountain and harvest everything up there and then stick refining forges on the back of your Quetzal and you've got yourself a refining forge mobile, pretty much. That's all you really need. So, you know, this guy is slightly more versatile than the Bronto because of his maneuverability and the ability to fly. However, he does have the smaller platform saddle on him. Now, one thing that I did forget to mention about the Quetzal is that he's also able to carry most of the dinos on the island, most of the creatures, sorry, on the island, which makes him also really good for taming up other dinos. Now, you can see here we've only got a little, I think it's a dodo, I'm not sure, I can't really tell too well. No, it wasn't a dodo. So, you know, he can carry mammoths, woolly rhinos, a lot of the bigger dinos that, say, the Argy or the Tabagira can't actually carry, and the Pteranodon. So, you know, he's definitely worth grabbing due to that reason of being able to carry up other dinos and, you know, use them for taming. Number 4 is another Scorched Earth creature, the Rock Golem. Now, this guy is, he's a powerhouse. So not only is he able to gather stone in huge amounts as well as sand and metal, this guy has also got a huge carry weight and he's easily one of the biggest hitters in Ark. He has 3 attacks. He's got his boulder toss, which fails miserably unless you can hit the target. There you go, you can see there 412 damage. Now he also has a ground pound attack, which obviously is what you use to gather the stone, and as well as that he's got a roundhouse attack which you can also use to gather. However, your main primary attack will be your best attack. Now he doesn't have the greatest amount of weight, which kind of sucks, and he also does not reduce the amount of stone, the amount that stone weighs in your inventory like the Doedicurus does. However, this guy is still really good. He's relatively okay in terms of movement speed considering of how big and bulky he is, but he's just all around, you know, you ever want to gather stone in the huge amounts, go for the rock elemental because he's definitely worth it. He's got a huge amount of health, so if anything comes up to you and tries attacking you, you can easily pulverize it into dust because of his huge amount of health. You can see there we've got 14,000 health, which is pretty much equivalent to the Bronto's health. I think he had only 13,500. So the Rock Golem has slightly more health than the Bronto. Now, as well as that, he does, like I said, do more damage. This poor Ichthys just went flying sky high because of that. Oh wow, he's still going. So yeah, so the Rock Elemental is number 4 on this list for those reasons that I said. Lucky number 5 on this list is the Mosasaur. Now, much like the Bronto and the Quetzal, this guy is the king of his respective element, the ocean. Now, you can also place platform saddles on this guy and once again use him as an underwater base. With the inclusion of the tech underwater stuff, you can actually build as well on him and not have to worry about drowning underwater, obviously. Now, as well as this guy deals a huge amount of damage to other dinos or creatures underwater, whatever you want to call them. As well as that, he's also really tanky. He's got a lot of health, much like the Rock Elemental and the Bronto. You can see there 14,400 health. And he's got a huge carry weight as well, like the Bronto. Now, our stamina is depleting for a strange reason. But as well as that, you know, he's also the best prime meat collector underwater. Much better than the Megalodon, the Donkey, you know, the Plesiosaur. He's much better than that. So if you ever want to try and tame stuff underwater and, you know, you're kind of on the run, you want to bring one of these guys with you because they're obviously the best prime meat collector to use to gather the prime meat. And like I said, they are able to build platform saddles on the back of them. Granted, it's a very high level to do that, but you can still manage to do that and build bases on them. Alrighty guys, that'll be it for today. Let me know what you guys thought of the video. Let me know what your top 5 PvE dinos are. But other than that guys, thanks for watching and I will catch you in the next one.